Rising Affluent. We are here with Ash Cash, motivational speaker, financial expert, and author. Here to talk with us today about his book. Good morning.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
No problem. So what was your inspiration behind writing your book?
I am an 11-year banking professional. Been in banking for 11 years. Worked at JP Morgan Chase, Carver Federal Savings Bank, and I truly have a passion for financial literacy. And one of the things that I realized in reading a lot of finance books, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, Richest Man in Babylon, all these different books, is that there wasn't a book that spoke specifically to the young urban professional, and that's what I aim to do. My goal with Mind Right, Money Right, 10 Laws of Financial Freedom, was to talk specifically to the young urban professional, because we are now, let's say the hip hop crowd or the millennials that they like to call us. At one point we were very into hip hop, and now we're still into hip hop, but now we own homes, now we're having kids, now we're having, we're getting older, and now we're taking responsibility for our finances, but we've never been taught how to. So I feel like, as the voice of that generation, it's important that I take what I learned in banking, what I learned from school, what I learned in my personal experiences and in those of others, and put that into a book that people can understand, the young urban professional can understand how to take back control of their finances and become financially free.
At what age did you know you wanted to get into financial empowerment?
Wow. I actually, so I've been a hustler, and in a good way, since I was young. So I've always been interested in business, packing bags at the local supermarkets since 9 years old, or selling mixtapes and T-shirts at the local flea market in Harlem. So I've always had that knack for business entrepreneurship, but it wasn't until I got into banking and I started to rise within the corporate structure and realize that the difference between those who have money and those who don't have money is really the mindset. It isn't, where you're from. It isn't, whether you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. That's what they want you to believe. But anybody with any circumstance could change their situation financially by just having the proper mindset. So when I realized, and I said that people who look like me, people from my neighborhood, people from, my demographic, I think that they're not being told the truth about money, the truth about finance. So at that point, when I realized that, I said, that needs to be my personal mission. My personal mission needs to be to educate people on how finance really works, and that if you have the proper mindset, you can attain anything that you want in life. And that's why, and that's another thing, is that when I talk about financial freedom, it's subjective to whatever you think financial freedom is. So if you think financial freedom is making 100 grand a year, then you are financially free. If it's $1 million, then it's $1 million. If it's 30,000, it's 30,000. But we need to be told the truth about finance and how it really works, and that's what my mission is.
Okay, what is, since everybody has a different definition, what is your definition of financial freedom?
I think my definition of financial freedom is a lack of dependency on money. Meaning that a lot of people work jobs that they don't want to work. A lot of people do things that they don't want to do because of money, because they depend so much on money that they can't make their own choices. Financial freedom to me is you have the choice, because you have certain things financially, you have a foundation, you have a financial foundation down pat, that you don't have to compromise yourself in order to make money. You do things that you love, and once you do what you love, the money comes. And if you do that, if that's what your definition of is, or if that's what you do from a day-to-day basis, you're living out your passion and making money from your passion, then you are financially free.
Okay. Somebody who is in a financial crisis right now, let's say typical young professional that might even be here today, graduated college not too long ago, maybe 2 years ago, maybe they're about 24, 25.
Yep.
And they, like to go out, like to hang out, like to shop, but now they still have student loans, and they're just, they feel like they're in a financial crunch.
Yep.
What's your first piece of advice for what they should do? Wait for it.
They have to change their mindset.
Okay.
Because there's a difference between what you need and what you want. And a lot of people, they blur that line. And because they do that, they look at a financial, them not being able to party or them not being able to buy the clothes that they want as a financial crunch, or they're doing bad or whatever the case may be. So people need to change their mindset and realize what are your priorities? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to build a career? Are you trying to build a business? Whatever you're trying to do, you have to put the first things first and use all your capital, your resources in order to build that. And I think that it's important that no matter what your situation is, you have to have some type of savings. You have to have emergency funds, things set up, 6 to 8 months of expenses in an account. And the reason for that is because with the job market, with the way business is right now, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So if you think that you're living paycheck to paycheck now, if you think that you're head above water now, imagine if you didn't have income coming in. Imagine if an emergency happens, you get sick and you can't work, because that's the thing. As a young professional, we rely on our physical labor in order to make money. And we need to change that relationship. The relationship should be that money works for us opposed to us working for it. But at a young age, this is our prime time to make money. So instead of going out, instead of spending, thousands of dollars on red bottoms, right? We need to start putting our priorities in order and using that money wisely so that, we can start building that foundation, and now we can build financial freedom better.
What's next for Ash Cash?
Ash Cash is, big shout out to Susie Orman, Dave Ramsey, all the financial experts that came before me, but they're getting old. So Ash Cash is positioning himself to be that premier voice for the young, the rising affluent. For the young professional, the rising affluent, to be that voice of advice, business advice, financial advice. I have a book, so it's going to be through seminars, books, DVDs, workshops, and however way I can get the message out, but it's really to empower and inspire and to motivate people to be better than they are, because I think everybody has greatness in them, and they just need to every day push themselves to the limit and keep pushing themselves until they reach their greatness. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see Ash Cash on TV, something like that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Ash Cash. You will be seeing him next on the television screen, so look out for him, and thank you for joining us.